Welcome everyone, Dylan Gemelli here today with a brand new video for you. This is going to be a controversial one, so just be ready for this one right off the bat. This is going to have some people probably totally agreeing and some people like telling me I'm just a fool, and I don't care. This is the way I see it and this is what I believe with it, and I'm going to explain to you why. And so I'm going to answer the question of whether or not you should use HCG in PCT. But before we get into that, just a big shout out and thank you to everybody out there supporting and following the channel. I cannot thank you enough. If you haven't yet, please like, sub, share, comment. It all goes a million miles to help the channel grow, and it allows me to produce more and more content for you each and every day. Also, today's video is sponsored by our favorite sponsor, letsgetchecked.com. So if you're not aware, letsgetchecked.com specializes in at-home blood testing. It's so easy and so efficient. All you have to do, go to the description below, click on my link, use my coupon code Gemelli30 to save 25% off your order. Go to the website and then start browsing around for the tests that you want. And they do it all for men and women. They've got full hormonal panels, wellness panels, sexual health panels, COVID testing. They do it all. Pick out what you want, order it. They're going to ship it to you timely. Send it right back as quickly as you can, as you provide the sample, obviously. You're going to get your test results back extremely timely, and they have doctors and nurses on site to answer any questions that you have 24/7. It's simple, it's fast, it's efficient. Let'sGetChecked.com. Use coupon code Gemelli30 to save 25% off your order. So, all right, let the controversy begin. I'm just kidding. Less. Everybody's got their own beliefs on this. I'm against this. I'm not against HCG use in general, and I've talked about that. I don't love HCG at all. To be honest with you, I really don't. I am not going to sit up here and tell you that there's substitutes for HCG like testosterone boosters and things like that. Not the case. I've worked for companies that, have said that in the past, and we've talked about it, and it's been run by us and but look, it's just not the same. Can it help? Sure. Absolutely, if you got a good quality one. Is it going to be the same? Is it going to take the place of HCG? No, it is not. And so, while I don't think HCG is necessary as much as other people do, I do always tell everybody it has its place, but it's not a huge place, and it does not ever in any way need to be overused. And it's always overused, and it's always misused. It's overprescribed by doctors even, and I just find it kind of reckless. But we're going to talk about PCT today. I'm not going to get into everything I don't like about HCG and what I do like about it, which is fucking minimal. But we're going to talk about the topic. We can do more videos on other things about HCG. If you guys request them, I'll do them. So, a lot of people will tell you that HCG is the must in PCT. And if you go watch my perfect post-cycle video, you'll notice there's always comments in there, no HCG, and I kind of go through and explain. So I figured it'd be better to just do the video and explain it. Look, when you use testosterone, you're clearly adding large amounts of testosterone in your body. And it's obviously triggering your body to think that it's producing way too much. All right? And this is what caused suppression, because your body then forgets to produce it on its own. And I'm doing this instead of doing all this scientific breakdown like I do in every video, I'm trying to do it in very, very simple terms here, because I just want everybody to really understand it for what it is. So that's why you need a post-cycle therapy, so that you can jumpstart your natural testosterone production again. That's not the only reason for a post-cycle, but that's obviously the biggest and most important part of it. There's other aspects, like I've talked about in my PCT video, to make a complete post-cycle to ensure you have the best recovery possible in the fastest amount of time, which then results in the most retention of gains possible. But that's an entirely different topic that you can see I like to talk about. So what does HCG do in PCT? What is the total purpose for what it's going to do in terms of people's mind, or what does it actually do? Because most people think that HCG is just like the main ingredient for recovery, because it does spike your testosterone levels. But here's the problem. So when you're suppressed, your LH and your FSH, which I've talked about in many videos, your luteinizing hormone and your follicle stimulating hormone. All right, this is how your testosterone is produced, your sperm. This is how you have kids. So they get suppressed. And when you use exogenous testosterone, they bottom out. And a lot of times when you're looking at testosterone numbers and you're seeing like somebody that's on TRT, their LH and their FSH are going to be 0, while their testosterone numbers are obviously going to be up because they're on, they're taking in testosterone. Well, what HCG does is kind of like testosterone. Testosterone is making your body think it's overproducing. Well, HCG mimics your LH and your FSH. So it's just like taking exogenous testosterone, but you're doing it with HCG, and then it's inflating these LH and FSH numbers, but then it's tricking your body into thinking that it's overproducing. But if you're mimicking that, it leads to suppression, which you don't want in PCT, but it's good if you are taking this prior to PCT, so it's giving you a nice kick. So what happens when you're going into PCT, especially with longer esters, you're obviously coming down, and while your esters are clearing, you're obviously going to lose that spike. You want to try to go in with a higher level so the recovery is easier and it's already jump-started. So that's already kind of jump-starting it, but you've got to then keep it going. And if you stop taking it and you've mimicked that, well, what happens when you come out of PCT? Even if you're using Clomid and Novadex, it's still going to be an issue. It's not the wisest thing. And it also increases your estrogen on top of that. So that's one thing you never want in PCT. You never, ever. You don't want cortisol increased. You don't want estrogen increased. You don't want to be using things that are suppressive. Well, HCG is suppressive. Say whatever you want, but it is. I just explained to you why. It makes recovery far more difficult and unlikely to the level that it needs to be to recover properly, to keep gains. It's mimicking your FSH and your LH. Just like testosterone, when you take it, it's mimicking the production of testosterone, which then suppresses you. This also suppresses you. It also increases your estrogen, like I said. And on top of this, I've seen it misused. People want to run way too much, way more than you need. There's so many problems wrong. If you got to put 2 and 2 together here. The reason that you're using HCG is to stimulate and boost your LH and FSH before PCT. You don't want to do this during PCT, mimic it, and then you're done with PCT. You're not taking Nova. You're not taking Clomid or Novadex, right? And then what happens? So and in fact, I just gave you great merit on using it right before you go into PCT. But doing it during, I will never be the one that's going to advocate for that. There are people that will tell you they recovered fine from it, and hey, man, that's fine. I'm giving you my opinion on it and the reason why I have that opinion and what I've observed over so many years, and just being tasked with HCG causing people so many problems from long-term use and getting these kind of clients that I've had and these emails and these questions and these comments, and it's like ongoing thing. And I just don't find HCG to be that great of a thing at all. In fact, I find it to be more detrimental often than not. But like I said, it does have its place, and I totally understand that. That's where I'm at with it. You can always do whatever you feel is best or what you believe or whatever. That way, you only got one person to praise or one person to blame when something goes right or wrong. All I do is try to give you my thoughts and opinions. You do what you want with that and will with that, and you go from there. And you should always, and this is not just what this is in life, do what you feel is best, but make the most educated decision possible. That's all I'm going to tell you. Like I always like to tell everybody, I'm not your fucking dad. I'm not trying to be your dad. I'm just trying to help. And I'm going to not lose any sleep over whether you listen to me and do most of the things I say or do none of it and think I'm just a moron and call me whatever name you want, like people tend to do online. Either way, I'm good. But I do feel better a lot better if I have a comment that says, man, what you told me really helped me. And then I really, that's the effect that I'm going to get out of this, where it's going to affect me. Otherwise, always do what you want. I don't gain anything, lose anything, whatever. But hopefully it helps, and hopefully I'm guiding you in the right way. So that being said, stay tuned for plenty more to come. Dylan Gemelli, signing off.